Nigeria, a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Are you in search of a place to do all your audio recordings? From jingle, documentaries, church
with Today FM, with our unbeatable reach, will give your business the boost it so dearly needs, a voice.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back to double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
Please listen to this public notice. Based on the current realities, we have made certain adjustments to maintain premium broadcasting as your premium talk radio station.
My name is Praise Obi, reporting from Transamadi. I spoke to some experts in the tourism sector complaining of
the level of insecurity in River State appears to have reduced drastically.
Today FM Newsroom.
And that wraps up the news. Thanks for listening. To have a good morning.
Oil spillage in Okobe has affected other communities, causing unprecedented devastation.
2 weeks after the River State government announced it planned to carry out an evaluation exercise,
Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company is holding a public consultation.
And at this moment, we're privileged to have Victor Ezema. Just to cut straight to the chase, when you've said the government perhaps should learn to include the people in the decision every day, what do you think the government should have done?
Today FM News. The news never ends with teamwork.
Officer, take. Officer, give me number. No time. Ma, they match am, they go.
What? You driving the officer of the law? You under arrest. Let me see your papers. You can go. They're in order. Drive safe, okay?
I don't understand though. No be the same country again. Officer reject bribe. They arrest me yesterday. That yesterday, I go do my papers. See as I pass now. I pass without fear. You too, make you do wetin dey right. For we country to better, it dey for we hand. If you like, do like say you no hear am. To give or to take bribe, na offense.
Una don hear am, abi? You hear am too, abi? You hear am. You hear am well. They themselves, they hear am. Now the voice of the people. Now him bring this message give now. Today 95.1 FM. Now we be the voice of the people.
Live of 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back to double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
right, good afternoon. 14 minutes gone into the hour. Thank you for staying tuned to Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Yes, your premium talk radio station. And team of DK and his accomplice who, according to the report, I'm getting the full report now. He said was the native doctor who he was working with at the time. That's Ugochukwu. It was given. I told you it just might come today as well, right? And so, it wouldn't have made sense if they had sentenced the other two without sentencing John Bosco. And then what happens after the 1 year? Does he go back into society? Does he? What becomes of him? And these are the issues. But any which ways, we will not be looking at that anymore. We will be moving on. There is the politics now. I feel that is happening in Port Harcourt, and I would like us to delve into that situation. But I'm not alone in the studio. I'm never alone. Of course, today's also has got 3 people on it. They call us the trio on radio, and we are live in the studio. So I'm going to do the introductions. I've got Wealth Wilson, I've got Bulua Jai, and of course, I'm here in the studio. My name is Canada. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
All right. Now, remember when the governor came out and said that it's not that he has a problem in tested, right? Mm-hmm. He had a problem with the fact that they were not being tested. Now, at the time, there was there were no testing machines in River State. So, how was the governor going to go about the testing, right? Mm-hmm. And how was the governor going to determine if the rig workers, the offshore workers coming into River State had COVID-19 or not? That was the argument. And so when he arrested the Cavitin helicopter pilots, he arrested the 22 ExxonMobil staffers and isolated them. The question was, how were we going to determine if these individuals had COVID-19? Now, auction were going on in River State concerning the 3 flyovers, and then he said, and I will paraphrase, that he gave them waivers to go about so that they don't have the excuse of saying we were not able to. But at the time these men were working, it was the same time the Cavitin helicopters were flying in. It was the same time the ExxonMobil staffers were coming into River State. Who was doing the testing for Julius Berger? Who was doing the testing for these other people who were constructing flyovers? Because some of them would also still get their materials from, outside the state.
Well, before we had to lock down, guessing that they would already have all the materials that they would need because they were already carrying out, certain activities on the site, and we could see some, ongoing work there. Then I want to believe that I'm guessing that the staffers as well for Julius Berger into the state from, elsewhere. Then
if you say that, don't you think that ExxonMobil would also have taking precautionary measures, for their staffers? Don't you think?
But we had problems with the oil workers, and he just wanted them to get tested because they were essential workers. Now, if the governor wants this project to continue in this period where we say people shouldn't move about, all right? If he wants to give them a waiver, then they should also get tested. Because at the end of the day,
that's where I'm coming from.
Point.
That's where I'm coming from too. That's where I'm coming from.
They are in the States, and they also would have observed the self-isolation and lockdown order.
But that's the point. They're not observing the lockdown.
I don't know if there were still, ongoing.
There were still constructions there
of this construction company from someone who had come back from where did they?
Europe. She had toured Europe, and then she came into the country who were working at any of the flyovers that not also come in before the lockdown. Let's look
at taking precautionary measures for COVID-19. Then again, the government would have to explain whether or not they were also tested because of the tantrums being thrown at the oil workers and all of that.
Okay, that come to observe period where nobody's supposed to move. Okay, they should also get tested. Now the problem is this: NCDC does all these things, and so if probably they don't have travel history and they don't display symptoms, they can get tested. If it was the River State government testing some of these workers, they can say, fine, okay, River State government test all of them. But the problem is this: If you want to test them, would you test them every day? Because every day they move about, they interact with.
You go back to your family as
The
well.
problem is this: how do you ascertain that family or those families have observed social distancing?
I understand where Wells is coming. Well,
but
just indicted you right now. I mean, you go back to your family every day. Have you infected?
Okay, we're supposed to have everybody's supposed to be in one place and not go out, but yet we still have new cases of the virus in River State. We had a new case. How?
And
That's the point.
In defense of the governor, some of those new cases are from the oil workers who are coming in from the offshore.
And let's be also very sincere. I mean, it's been how many weeks since we started the partial closure here in.
I'm just thinking about this. I'm saying if it is good enough for these construction companies to work. I mean, 3 flyovers in River State with a certain time to complete this project. I mean, it's a good one because at the end of the day, it will decongest those areas where the flyovers will be. So there will be. If it is good for the construction workers to work, it's also good for the oil workers to also work. I'm just thinking.
My argument would be that this time of lockdown, not just in one state, I mean, practically almost every state in Nigeria is on lockdown. This is the perfect time for the federal and state governments to also extend their hands in completing road.
Also a good time for them to work.
It is. But nobody's stopping them from working now. That's the truth. Nobody's stopping them from working.
Well, the governor has said, look, if you want to work, you have to get yourself tested
Which,
first.
of course, is not out of the. It's
It's the job of the NCDC to do testing, and they test based on certain factors. Do you have?
Not comfortable with that? He has to ascertain that these people are. Construction did not start just yesterday. I'm guessing.
Are you saying
they have all?
And whatever is coming in would be of course ascertained by the government to not be
by ascertained. Do you mean tested?
Carrier of COVID-19. Of course. What else would I be meaning by ascertained?
So if you mean tested, that's the question. Are they being tested? Workers of these construction companies that have to go out of the state and then come back into the state, are they being tested the same way the governor is demanding that oil workers are tested?
That is the thing. If the government is being this hand strong with oil workers,
it should also be hand strong with construction workers.
We would like to know that for a fact now. Before before all of this argument start, to listen to what the governor
and infrastructures. People will be living, and at the end of the day, those who are alive will have something to go on with. Our fight against COVID-19 is very serious. But while we are doing that, police and other people who are carrying out that it's taking place and that people are happy.
All right. Now, you see, he said that they had to finish it so that people who are alive can enjoy the infrastructure. And so that gives credence to Wells' earlier argument that this is the best time for the federal government and every other government, state governors and all, same reason, given by the governor.
Well, I have a problem in December when we're talking about road need to see how they can work on certain federal roads. I'm guessing is construction still ongoing? Because the complaint at first would be that, then again, if you remember last year,
they could have been transferred.
But wouldn't that be a sad case, seeing that monies that would have been also used to fix up necessities for the people would be used for only one particular thing, tackling the COVID-19, and in the end of the day, the country is in dire need of help.
All right. Also, we're gonna be opening the phone. What is your day like? Are you part of the mammals, or are you part of the FME? And basically, are you prepared for the lockdown tomorrow? 9962. Let's have you call in and have
the governor of the state. When we are there that there's a lockdown, you have to come out to move it from one place to another. Okay, who is going to quarantine them? Who is going to test them? We are talking about COVID-19.
But then again, they are essential workers. No. Let me explain.
Have they not been in the state as much as you have been?
No. But do you know I move around? I move.
And you gave the law of the state that nobody should not come out.
Except essential workers. Except essential workers. You're not adding that. Except essential workers.
All right. I get. Okay.
No.
All right. Thank you very much. We got to move on.
No. Let me shoot in right now.
The governor should not be coming out. That's what he said. It's not bigger.
It's because there is no compliance. It seems like if he doesn't get the job done, the people put to man the various borders and areas do not do a very good job, which of course time and time we've also complained that most of these people as well, they're not doing a good job, even with the border management and all of that.
But
so the governor is saying that he has to come out to make sure that most of these things, at least to the best that he can, supervise it.
Look at I'm going somewhere. You look at the lockdown in River State. Look at the task force guys going about, not even observing social distancing. Now, if they move the lockdown in the first place,
which we cry out about, but then doesn't mean that we should take the task force, the security officials
I'm not
off the streets.
I'm not saying take the task force off the streets. The process, the manner of operations of the task force, it's very critical in the fight against COVID-19.
All right, then. And 95.1 FM, what's your name and where are you called?
Yes, today is the last day for partial to see how we can pack as against the two-man gathering of the governor.
All right.
And Canada, this is to show that the governor is fighting Rivers people. He's just paying lip service to everything he's doing because there is no one hospital he has equipped. Just one for this coronavirus.
All right. Oh, sorry, I lost you there. Sorry about that. Thank you very much.
Canada, the governor's choice of word is hypocritical.
Why?
You say you give waiver. You are giving waiver. Then what happened to the company that you even shut down? You understand?
All right.
It's hypocritical.
What not say? I mean, think of it. We're just questioning,
treatment that you gave to the people that are constructing road. We are happy for the flyover. You should have extended the same to the people that you arrested. The campaign, everybody would have complained. So please, Canada, we are asking the governor. Executive power is mere administrative order. You understand? If it's inconsistent with this constitution shall prevail. And such laws shall, to the extent of inconsistency, be made void. So that is what constitution is stated clearly. So governor, you have a human face when you are trying to exercise your executive order. That is my take. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Chima. Let's listen to another caller. Lost that one. Do well to call us back. The numbers are still very much open. 0817 0000. Just to the number 0701 9339 962. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, I don't know. I'm wondering how is it that you are not able to see this double standard that is playing out, and you are seriously arguing?
I know you were going to go there. How is it double standard now? Make us understand.
Wait, ExxonMobil said their staffers have all been tested. That if they doubt it, they should refer to NCDC. Are you aware that they said that?
But you should also realize that about 3 of the cases reported in River State were from oil workers as well.
How many cases do we have in River State?
But like I said, 3 of them were oil
3
workers.
Of them. Then how many do we have?
Or more. I'm not certain.
Worker. Now, see, let me tell you something. You see, the governor is going about every day moving. He himself, he has said it, that he risks this thing of even catching the disease. He moves with task force everywhere. Even when they were demolishing that building, look at the video. You saw how they were gathered together. You understand? They were gathered together to the Nigerian police. So when you don't allow the police to enforce it, you yourself going to do it yourself. He may risk the thing of getting. Don't forget.
We're not talking about the governor now. We're talking about
what I am saying is that he allowed. Do you know that Julius Berger is a multinational corporation? That they travel the
people constructing and anyways, last thing we get your point.
No, see, for me, I think it is double standard. If you want to do something, do it in a way that it will show standard, the same standard for everybody, not different standard for different people.
Right.
It's wrong.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I don't know if let's go.
That was not the intent when we started the conversation.
95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Bright from Romigo.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bright, welcome.
Yes, let me also continue from where Mr. Lawson stopped. I also see that a double standard and selfish policy.
All right.
There was a news today that maritime workers are threatening to go on strike because some of their staff have been arrested here in Port Harcourt. And then when the president was issuing his own order, he said the WAF MPA and that the WAF did not give them approval and waivers. So everything now requires his own discretion. He decides who to give approval and who not to give approval. Are you aware that some hospitals have been closed down, except the hospitals who give approval? And then you ask yourself, how essential is some hospital and how essential are not the others? What is Julius Berger doing? Julius Berger's work blocked. There are other alternatives. So if you're saying you're rushing it, what happened to those other alternatives that have been serving before the lockdown?
Sorry, Bright. Now, I think the three of us are confused about something you said in the studio. You said some hospitals were giving waivers. How is that?
Sorry?
Did you actually say some hospitals were giving waivers?
And some weren't.
Hello?
Not like that.
Sorry, I'm trying to clarify something. Did you say some workers were giving some hospitals rather?
Riverside Ministry of Health, we are driving to hospitals to issue approval to a hospital that already has been established. They are issuing approval. I have seen one myself. And if you listen to the governor,
but I thought health workers were essential workers. So I don't see.
Fine. So why the approval again? Some other people, you can call a doctor and confirm.
I would have to. We would have to find that out. We would have to find that out.
Yes, and let me give you a clear indication to that. On Monday, he said some hospitals and pharmacies can now open. So he said it himself. The hospitals and pharmacies can now open. Essential.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I remember that statement now. Yeah, I did. I think I heard the pharmacist I did remember that. He said some hospitals as well. I remember that one. But let's read this guy's message. Sent about 9 of it. It says, okay, that was from yesterday or this morning. Sorry. It says Julius Berger have a very big yard full with their working mats that will take them for many years. Before JB starts any work, 90% of their mats and equipment will have to be on ground before washing. They have living bays at the... If your caller said, why didn't the governor give the carpeting oil workers waiver? Well, I had all the people in the states. So maybe that answers the question. Who knows? All right, back to the phone lines.
All right, 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kalada and Fred.
My friend. All right. Okay, you're giving me a friend now, right? Okwandu. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes. My brother, I don't know if you have seen the governor where he is discussing this lockdown.
No, I've not.
I have hardly seen him with the first mask.
Okay.
That is chief executive.
But that's not what we're talking about. I mean, maybe the people around him are all free of COVID-19.
I want to let the government do it.
You know, these people are residents in Port Harcourt and never leave.
You know that the COVID-19 is here in Port Harcourt. So it is not a matter of that you have traveled or you have not traveled that to make you to contact it. So when people stand out to fight COVID-19, we don't help anybody.
All right.
Maritime workers are in his custody. He is chasing even.
I greet you guys. I greet you. Did you mean wealth? I called you health.
So she once said.
Thanks for a while. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon, everyone is in the studio.
Good afternoon.
I don't want to blame any of them, but I think they really cannot hate.
Now you carry on. We're not talking about Governor Wike per se. We're talking about waivers. We're talking about waivers.
I've been listening to the conversation.
Waivers. We've been talking about waiver. Anyways, thank you very much, Mr. This is not what we're talking about, and I wouldn't let you derail the conversation. This one says, if you go to JBZ, that's Julius Berger, Leo, I'm beginning to think you work for Julius Berger.
I'm thinking the same thing.
You should come out. You should come out straight now. Yeah. This one says you close shops and supermarkets, allow Berger to work as if it is not enough. The governor gave meet-and break to inaugurate PDP state ESCO from Stan. Interesting conversation. Interesting conversation.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Canada. I was just looking at what the caller just said. He was talking about the appointed, give waivers to some hospitals and pharmacies and You know, when they're treating situation like this COVID-19, it's a delicate thing. It's not something people joke with.
All right.
When they said waiver does not mean because, like the governor said it one on this. Yes, you're a policeman. You're not on service. Does not mean you should, because you're a policeman, you move around. Waiver, in the actual sense, means it's a private things also. Because we have so many of them. You would have just go to the ministry, look at what you can. You get a waiver from there. Doesn't mean because you have a chemist or you have anything, it automatically gives you an opportunity to say you can just move anytime. Because you're so that's not how it works. They give you time. If for example, I run anything that I needed a waiver for, and for that, I go and meet them. If the team, for now, we're not operating like a normal person. If the team that is controlling the coronavirus.
So if that is the case, then do you think, as some people have said, that the governor has been selective with whom? That's what he was referring to.
Yes. The truth is that there's some things people in the public they are not exposed to. The kind of things the governor gets in his table, and when you are in authority, and people just sit at home, they don't understand. Do you know that in Lagos and some states, people that have this COVID-19,
say that private clinics cannot, be part of the COVID-19 fight.
And before they try to identify the person that is not, and maybe the hospital is in Iguta or somewhere, before going to do the test and all this, what would have happened? So they try to minimize people that can attend to people at this moment in time. It doesn't make a news that somebody will start thinking.
All right, thank you very much. A lot of text messages. Let's do justice to that. This one says, greetings, Canada and wealth. And John from Port Harcourt. This one says, he lied on governor not wearing face mask, but must every issue be under political microscope? People taking biased sides. Abba, I won't listen to radio anymore. All right. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. This one says, good afternoon, Canada and the rest of the gang. I seriously hope that the era of delayed... Oh, moved on from that one. I'm wondering why we're having delayed text messages. Okay. This one says, Canada, greetings. If... where is it now? If SPDC and Total EMP did not donate testing kits, River State government... okay, that's not what we were talking about. Why do you guys always find a way to politicize things? Oh my. Says we were all here in 2014. Wike was busy. Oh my God. You need to see things I'm saying here. I can't even read some of them. This one says, good afternoon. This way the governor is following. Okay. I don't think that's what we're talking about. This is Canada. Julius Berger were given waiver to work in a quarry land. Then why the contractor working on Etio Bariyara Old Bori Road was called out of sight since February. We're also constructing the road in these communities, Etio Bariyara Old Bori Road, and the contractor was asked to go home because of COVID-19.
In here in the river,
to go home by the River State
That's
government.
what the text, not what I'm saying. That's what the text message says.
This is unconfirmed.
It's not confirmed, my brother. It's not. But even that's the problem now. This one says on the issue of Governor Wike easing the lockdown. Wow, this is a text. This is really a text message, like a textbook. Lockdown. On the issue of Governor Wike easing the lockdown, the governor is supposed to have a human face in his decisions. Governor Wike, we're not talking about all of these things now. You just, sorry, I can't read it. Sorry, I've got to jump and pass. People at the studio, who tested you before you continue working? Bartolomeo, I believe that's what you meant to write. World calls construction workers essential, but oil workers should not work. Is that what you said?
No, she didn't say
Please,
that.
where is this person listening from?
The money used to pay JB at proceeds of oil. Please define double standard again, Kingsley. I'm wondering, I didn't hear you say it, but I just need to ask you. Did you say it?
That I'm also asking him where he's listening from anyway. But
all right, let's go back to the phone lines. Wonderful text messages here. 95.1 FM. What's your name and where are you?
Hello, Kalada. Good afternoon, Mr. John. Yeah.
Mr. John, welcome.
Yes, who is essential worker? Because when you say the health workers should be given waiver again, even when the president has said, when he was making his speech, he, specified those. So how come they will now get another waiver?
For you said that you can't give because you're an essential worker doesn't mean that you have to be on the road. I mean, when you're not on duty.
That is unnecessary repetition, because already we all know that health workers are needed at this time, and they are essential workers. So why asking them to get another waiver? It's just trying to model their job for them. And that of the oil workers, we all know that Shell, before they even allow you to their rig within this period, they must send your samples for test.
All right.
And when they come in here, they will tell the governor that we have been tested, but he will refuse them from coming in.
You can't be too careful.
And they will give you their documents. Go and verify for NCDC, and you still doubt it. But you ask Los Vegas to continue working. That's not
Port Harcourt, and they don't leave.
They are resident in Port Harcourt. That doesn't mean that they don't supervise jobs in other places.
All right.
Most of those guys they fly to other places to supervise jobs. They are expatriates.
All right.
Thank you very
much, John.
They fly to other places right now when there is, a ban on interstate travel and all of that.
That's what we're
and
saying.
then if they are flying, it should have been on, proper authority from whether the federal or state government. So where is this argument going?
Totally. I mean, ExxonMobil was from proper.
And nobody done that to the oil workers.
All right. There's this text message here that's really, really funny. Not funny per se, but it gives credence to the other guy from Thai, local government. I said construction work was stopped there. It said Governor Wike only gave waivers to construction companies working for the state government. He should allow other construction companies to start their work. Now that brings the question: are construction companies essential services?
Okay. First of all, other projects going on in
these people have a way of tumbling what you have in your head. Maybe energy, water.
This is world standard, though. Because some of these things are not allowed here in Nigeria. What, we're not in the world or what? Some of the
elections and government operations, critical manufacturing, supply chain, wholesaling, food services and accommodation, institutional, residential, commercial and industrial maintenance, manufacturing and production, construction, guys.
Do it again.
Financial activities, resources.
The point is this.
Do it again. Yada yada yada.
The point is this. Most of these things that you've mentioned now, some of these things that you've mentioned, let me say some of them, are not regarded as essential here in Nigeria. This is probably
like which one?
This is probably
like which one?
All over from the beginning. I'm coming. No.
Are you paying now?
I'm coming.
Go on.
I'm coming. Law enforcement. We have retail and wholesaling, food services.
Oh, you have a point there.
Institutional, residential, commercial, and industrial maintenance.
No. Retail and wholesaling are in River State.
She has a point.
Lagos State has their minimum.
Fine.
The point is the federal government hasn't
time.
listed these things as essential.
They did.
This is the world standard.
Actually,
and this is just essential services.
They did. The president did.
He listed, but he didn't list some of all these things. Some of these things here.
Food retail. See,
retail.
Is it the governor? Text message says, I work in one of such companies and I've been at home for 6 weeks now. The lady in the studio should be objective in her thoughts because she's supporting the selfish and double standard attitude of Governor Simon O from Rumodumai. I didn't see that coming. Have you taken the brown envelope? Now this one says, Kala, that the governor opened stores and supermarkets and closing food markets, so we should stock bread, biscuits, and snacks.
I asked this question yesterday. The markets are closed, right?
I'm done. Guys, we've got to go. Thank you very much. Okay, so say, Kala, please read my SMS before we transfer VK's provocation to you. Stop skipping our SMS.
They're already transferring.
I'm done with you guys. But that's how much we can do on the show for today. We've got to make room for today's Sports Live. Let's do this again tomorrow. And do stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. Remember, it's been the trio on radio, leaving the studio. Wealth Wilson, Bolu Ajayi, and yours truly.
95.1 FM, the voice of the people. 5.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Sunshine or rain. So why not join in the action, intrigues, excitement, and fun?
Just doesn't get better than that.
And every other sports there is.
Incredible stuff.
On Today Sports Live. Reaching you from your premium news, talk, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
That sounds like so much fun.
Weekdays after